You ever say, yesterday I go to market, and then want to bury yourself alive? Yeah, that. Welcome back to Monday English Podcast, where your grammar confusion meets a little roast and a lot of real talk. If you've been learning English for 10 years and still panic when someone asks, "What did you do last night?" Congratulations. You're in the right place. We see you. We are you. Except we also yell at you, just a little, lovingly. Today we're diving into your favorite headache. Tenses. Past, present, future. You're still confused. And honestly, it's not because you're stupid. It's because the way you've been taught is stupid. You've memorized timelines like a history major, but can't talk about breakfast without sweating. We're going to fix that. First, we'll talk about the past, also known as the regret zone. Then we'll hit the present, where people act like it's easy, but still say, "I working" like a broken robot. And finally, the future. No, not your dreams. Just how to say, "I'm going to meet my friend," without sounding like a confused time traveler. No timelines, no grammar jargon. Just how to actually say stuff about time without imploding. So if you've ever frozen mid-sentence trying to explain what you did yesterday, or what you're doing now, or what you might do next weekend, keep listening. You've studied 12 tenses and still can't answer, "How was your weekend?" Let's talk. Let's talk about the past. That place in your brain where all your grammar shame lives. You want to say something simple like, "I watched a movie," but what comes out is, "I watching movie yesterday," followed by the deep, painful silence of your soul leaving your body. The past feels like a haunted house. You know something's there, but every time you open your mouth, it's like, surprise, here's the wrong verb again. You've studied this stuff. You've taken notes, watched videos, even made flashcards. But the moment you have to speak in real life, your memory runs away like it owes you money. Let's fix that. You don't need to learn all the past tenses today. You just need to get comfortable with one, the simple past. That means something is finished. Done. Over. I watched. I cooked. She called. These are your keys to unlocking conversations about yesterday, last week, or anything before now. The verb watched is the past form of watch. You add E to regular verbs. So play becomes played, walk becomes walked. If the verb is irregular, we'll talk about those in a second. But first understand this. Simple past is your default for telling stories. No one cares if you know what a past participle is. They care if you can say, "I went to the beach" without sweating like it's an exam. Now, about those weird verbs. Some verbs are irregular, which means they change in strange ways. Like go becomes went, and buy becomes bought. You don't add zid. You just have to memorize them. It's annoying, I know. But think of it like learning names of people at a party. You don't call everyone John. You learn their names so you can talk to them. It's the same with verbs. If you say, "I go to the park yesterday," people will still understand you. But "I went to the park" feels smoother, more natural. That's your goal. Not perfect, just better. Let's add one more tool, the word ago. It helps you say how long ago something happened. 1 day ago, 2 weeks ago, a year ago. Try this. I moved here 2 months ago. Ago means before now. It gives your listener a time frame. Another word is last, like last night, last week, last summer. You can say, "I saw that movie last night." That's it. No grammar magic, just a few words that make your sentence clear. Of course, you can also use the past continuous. This one shows that something was in progress at a time in the past. For example, "I was watching TV when my mom called." Was watching is past continuous. You use it when two things happen in the past and one of them is longer. Like a background. The short action cuts in. Think of it as the grammar version of someone interrupting your nap. Past continuous equals was, or were, plus the verb with ing. I was studying. They were sleeping. Done. You don't need to explain this to your grammar teacher. You just need to use it. So when someone asks you, what did you do yesterday? And you say, sleep? Much. That's your brain trying to run away. Don't let it. Just take a second. Say, I slept a lot. I watched a show. I didn't do much. All simple past. All okay. No need for fancy words. Here's the sarcastic truth. You're not writing a novel. You're just telling someone about your dumb Saturday. So stop acting like it's a Nobel speech and just say the thing. Let's do this. Your action. Record a 30-second voice note. Talk about your yesterday. Pretend it was a dramatic trailer. And when you're done, get ready. Because next, we face the tense that pretends to be easy but always feels weird. The present. See you there. Let's talk about now. The present. Supposed to be the easiest tense, right? So why do you still mess it up like it's a secret math test? You want to say, I'm studying, but you write, I study now, and then wonder why the reply is okay, and it's not your fault completely. Textbooks teach you rules, but they don't show you real conversations. And real conversations are fast, messy, and full of weird little habits. But don't worry, we'll clean it up together, like two tired friends trying to fix a broken IKEA shelf. There are two tenses we use for the present. First, present simple. Use this when you talk about facts, habits, or things that always happen. I drink coffee. She goes to work at 9. We study English every day. That's it. These are things that repeat, like brushing your teeth. Hopefully. Now here's a fun word, routine. A routine is something you do often, in the same way. Example, my routine is coffee, work, and crying quietly in the bathroom. Totally normal. So if you do something regularly, use present simple. The other one is present continuous. This tense shows what is happening now, right this second. You make it with am, is, or are, plus the verb with ing. For example, I am talking. She is reading. We are learning. That's all it is. Just like painting a picture of the moment. So if your friend texts you, what are you doing? And you say, I work. That sounds strange. It's not wrong, but it feels like a robot answer. Better, I'm working. The moment feels more alive. Let's add a couple more helpers. The word usually means something happens often. I usually eat lunch at 12. The word now means it's happening at this moment. I am eating lunch now. Easy, right? Use usually, always, never, with present simple. Use now, right now, at the moment with present continuous. These little words tell your listener when things are happening. You're not just throwing verbs around and hoping they stick. Here's another word to try. Currently. It means now, but sounds a little more serious. I am currently watching a show about sharks. Sounds dramatic, but correct. Use it in job interviews if you want to impress someone. Another useful word is habit. A habit is something you do again and again, usually without thinking, like checking your phone or saying sorry when someone bumps into you. If you say, I wake up late every day, that's a habit. It's not great, but it's honest. Now let's be clear. If you say, I working, you've been saying it wrong for about 3 years. People are starting to think your Wi-Fi is broken. I working is not a shortcut. It's a red flag. Fix it. Say, I am working. All 3 words. Your mouth won't fall off, I promise. This grammar isn't hard. What's hard is remembering to use it when you're nervous, hungry, or trying to text while walking. But that's life. Let's try a full example. Imagine you're walking to the store. You're on the phone. Your friend says, where are you? You say, I walk. They'll think you forgot to speak. Better, I'm walking to the store. It's one little word, but it makes a big difference. That's the thing. Present tense isn't about big mistakes. It's about tiny ones that pile up and make you sound unsure. So what's the excuse this time? Let me guess. I know the rule. I just forget. Cool. I know how to do push-ups. Doesn't mean I do them. Knowing is not the same as practicing. If you don't use present simple and present continuous every day, they won't stick. They'll stay in your brain like lost socks in a washing machine. You saw them once, but now they're gone. You want to sound natural? Then start talking like a real person. Say what you do. Say what you're doing. Right now, say this out loud. I am listening to a podcast. Boom. Present continuous. Then say, I listened to podcasts on Monday. Present simple. You did both. You survived. Here's your action step. Narrate something you're doing today out loud. I am cooking. I am walking. Just one sentence. Say it while doing it. No one will hear you. And if they do, they'll just think you're confident or a little weird. That's fine. Weird is powerful. Okay, deep breath. Present tense is under control. Now we move to the one that causes the most confusion. The future. Because apparently, saying what you will do is harder than doing it. Let's go. Let's talk about the future. You know, that magical place where you'll finally speak perfect English, wake up early, go to the gym, and stop procrastinating. The problem is, you can't even say, I'm going to the gym tomorrow, without turning it into a grammar puzzle. And let's be honest, you probably weren't going anyway. In English, the future isn't some mysterious force. It's just a few words you can use right now. There are 3 main ways to talk about the future, and none of them require a crystal ball. First, there's will. It's simple. Use it when you decide something at the moment. Like when someone says, who's going to help me carry this box? And you reply, I'll do it. That's will. You just made a decision. Another example, I'm hungry. Okay, I'll make a sandwich. Quick decision. No planning. Just action. Then we have going to. This one is for plans, not dreams. Real plans. If you already know what you'll do, use going to. For example, I'm going to visit my cousin on Saturday. It's not a surprise. You already decided. You may even have a ticket. Going to shows that the decision is not new. It was in your brain before this moment. Another example, he's going to start a new job next month. Not maybe, not someday. This is the plan. Finally, there's the sneaky one, present continuous for the future. This one sounds weird, but it's common. You use it when you have a fixed plan, usually with a time. Like, I'm meeting Sarah at 3 p.m. You're not meeting her now. It's in the future, but the plan is strong enough to use present continuous. Think of it like booking a table. It's done. You're not guessing, you're going. Let's slow down and define one new word. Schedule. A schedule is a plan of events and times. Example, my schedule says I'm working at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Schedules help you use the future tense with confidence. When you know the time, the verb can follow. If it's in your schedule, it's strong. So use I'm going to, or even I'm having, like in I'm having dinner with my friend tonight. Yes, you can say that. It sounds natural. It shows you're not just floating in space. You have a plan. Another useful word is prediction. A prediction is a guess about the future. Like, it will rain tomorrow. You don't control it, but you think it will happen. That's when will fits best. No plan. Just a guess. Same with, I think he'll win the game. You don't know. You're predicting. It's like betting with words. Now let's destroy your excuse. You say, I don't talk about the future because I don't know what will happen. Great. So you just sit there in silence like a confused time traveler? Everyone talks about the future, even if it's small. I'll call you later. I'm going to eat after this. We're watching a movie tonight. These are not big promises. They're just normal human things. You don't need to plan your wedding just to use will. Let's try this together. You want to say, I might meet a friend this weekend. What do you choose? If you already agreed to meet, say, I'm meeting a friend this weekend. If it's your plan but not fixed, say, I'm going to meet a friend. If it's a last-minute decision, say, I'll meet a friend. Easy. It's about how sure you are. The more sure, the more natural it sounds to use going to or present continuous. If you're unsure or just decided, use will. Don't overthink it. Feel it. Sometimes you'll mix them up. That's fine. The world won't end. People will still understand you. They'll know what you mean. And if they don't, they'll ask. That's called a conversation. You learn. You fix it. You move on. English is not a science lab. It's a living thing. It grows when you use it. Here's one last word. Plan. A plan is something you want to do in the future. Example. My plan is to visit New York next summer. Plans make your English stronger. You don't need perfect grammar. You need a voice. You need to say what's next, not hide behind silence. Here's your action. Write 3 things you're going to do this weekend. Then say them out loud. Use going to. Say them like they're happening. And then get ready. Because next, we're going to rip open the grammar scars you've been hiding for years. Yes, we're doing a real talk interlude. Let's go. Oh, look, another person who says, I'm scared to speak because I might be wrong. How original. Let me guess, your English teacher once circled I was go in red ink, and now every time you try to talk, your brain screams, danger! Well, congrats. You've officially turned grammar into a horror movie, and not even a good one. Let me tell you something you won't hear in class. You're not failing English. You're just allergic to mistakes. Somewhere between memorizing charts and being told not to embarrass yourself, you started thinking perfect grammar is more important than human connection. It's not. No one cares if you say he go instead of he goes. They care if you say nothing. Silence is worse than a bad verb. The real problem isn't the tense. It's the shame. You made one mistake, someone corrected you, and your confidence packed its bags and left the building. Now you wait. You wait until you're ready. Until your sentence is perfect, until the ghost of your grammar teacher gives you a thumbs up from the sky. But here's the truth. That moment never comes. You will never feel ready. You speak or you stay stuck. That's it. You don't need to name the tense. You need to use it. No one walks into a cafe and says, today I shall demonstrate the present continuous. They say, I'm ordering coffee. Real life doesn't care about your grammar labels. Real life cares if you can speak when it counts. Mistakes aren't shameful. They're just part of the mess. And mess is where fluency lives. I once heard a student say, I very excite to learn. Did we correct it? Sure. But did we also cheer like they'd won an Oscar? Yes. Because they said it out loud. They tried, and that's more than most people do. You want perfect grammar? Cool. Go write an essay. But if you want to live in English, to joke, to order, to connect, you need to get loud, get messy, and stop asking grammar for permission. No one at Starbucks cares if you use present perfect. They want your order, not your grammar score. So here's your move. Post one sentence today. Anywhere. On paper, online, on your bathroom mirror. Just make it real, make it yours, and make it now. And once you've done that, come back. We've got a plan to make those tenses part of your actual life. Let's get to it. So now you know the truth. The past, present, and future are not scary grammar monsters. They're just tools. Simple tools. You've been making them harder than they need to be. For the past, say what happened. I walked. She called. We watched a movie. That's it. No magic. No grammar trophy. For the present, say what you do and what you're doing now. I work. I'm working. Both are correct. Just pick the one that fits. And for the future, stop acting like it's a prophecy. Just say your plan. I'll call you. I'm gonna eat. We're meeting at 6. Done. You're not writing a novel. You're talking like a person. You've been trying to be perfect before opening your mouth. And how's that going? Exactly. You're quiet, frustrated, and still stuck. The biggest lie you've believed is, I need to study more before I speak. No, you don't. You need to speak more while you're still learning. Speak wrong. Speak weird. Speak anyway. That's how your mouth learns. Not from reading, not from thinking, from doing. You didn't learn to walk by watching walking videos. You fell down 100 times and got up again. This is the same. Let me guess. Your favorite excuse is, I understand everything, I just can't speak. Oh, really? That's like saying, I know how to swim, I just can't touch the water. Cute, but useless. You don't get better at speaking by staying silent. You get better by making noise, by saying the verbs out loud, by telling someone I was cooking, even if your voice shakes. Say it, fix it later. The world doesn't end. Here's what I want you to do today. Pick one short sentence for each tense. Past, present, future. Say them all out loud, just once. You can whisper, you can shout, I don't care. But let your voice hear itself. And if this episode gave you a little push, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with that one friend who studied English for years but still says nothing in meetings. Subscribe to Monday English Podcast so you don't miss the next roast. I mean lesson. And come back next week. Bring your grammar fears, your messy verbs, your stubborn silence. We'll be here. Not to judge, but to help you break through it, one sentence at a time. You're not too late. You're just getting started. Say it wrong, say it anyway. See you next Monday.